it's Rhea. Wherever you are and whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. I am dying per usual, and I feel particularly drained today, but that's besides the point. So today we are going to be doing the 3-marker challenge. So as you can see, I have my markers here, which is the Sanjoki pack, and I am going to pick 3 sets of 3 markers. So I'm doing this challenge 3 different times because I wanted to like really test and see how I could try to adjust to it. And my eyes are closed while I'm doing this, by the way. It might not look like it, it's not like you can really tell, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. I definitely didn't know what I was picking. I was trying to find a way how to do it where it's like you guys can obviously tell that I can't see, but all the methods that I thought of would probably not work since it's such a large amount of markers. So basically what I'm doing here is the entrance, the opening, the little flap is facing away from me, and I just kind of like put my hands in front, and luckily I haven't like remembered where all the markers, like where all the colors are, because they are color organized, but I really am just taking a shot in the dark. So yes, in a little bit you're about to see me talk about how I feel about the choices. Okay, let's see what I got. Oh gosh. Ooh, okay, wait, this is actually not that bad. Like, this is a lucky strike. Hold on. Okay, wait. Wait. How'd I actually pick this? I wasn't expecting that. These aren't like, they're different, but it's like, it's doable, kinda? Like, these look like they might be cute together. I don't know. Next up were these. Oh, what the? This is interesting. So pink, gray, and yellow, like highlighter yellow. It's weird, but it's fun, so we'll see. And lastly is, okay, wait. I was expecting me to like pick some of the worst things I've ever heard of. Considering I had no idea what I was picking, I'm kind of surprised. But this is not that bad. I will take this. I will take this. Okay, okay. I'll see what I can do with each of these color palettes, and we'll see where to go from there. So yes, starting out, I was like, oh, okay, you know, these first 3 colors are great. They look like they're really cute and colors that are up my alley. And then I swatched them and realized that they're all very saturated. Like, they're all around the same level of value. So that's why I kind of was like, oh, how do I make this work? Because at least for me, I find it a lot easier if there are different values, like at least one of them is super dark, or at least one of them is super saturated, but the others are like, you know, lighter or paler or something. So whenever they are like all just saturated mid-tone colors, I was like, oh gosh, how do I make this work? But I just kind of jumped into it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of drawing out this random character. I wasn't really sure if I should have drawn something before I knew what colors I got or after. I feel like everyone, when it comes to challenges, you can just kind of take it whichever way you find easiest or more probable for you. Unless you just want to go like hard mode and have things be difficult for no reason. But I think it's important to make sure that you have fun with challenges. And I felt like I was able to accomplish that while it's still feeling like a challenge. This first attempt was definitely like a warm-up feeling. I feel like it came out okay, but given the fact that it was my first attempt and that it was like the probably the hardest set of colors to work with, which is ironic because once again, when I first picked it up, I was like, oh, you know what? I love these colors. That's great. And then I, you know, swatched them and I was like, oh, never mind. So yeah, I'm just kind of drawing like this, I don't know. Is it like a sea sprite? I don't know. It's like this creature and they're just chilling in the water, a night scene. Yeah, I kind of just like went into it with no kind of planning or anything, and I will say that's kind of fun to do every now and then because it really like this challenge in general, it really like tested how well I can just kind of come up with things without worrying about references or things like that, because I feel like these days I do a lot more of like reference studies or you know, OC art, or like things that are like a little bit more planned instead of just doing on a whim illustrations with no kind of like context or anything like that. So it's something that I used to do like whenever I probably like back in like early college, whenever I started to try to pick up drawing more and more. Yeah, I would just kind of draw things more on a whim and less planning, and I miss it. I miss like the magic of it. I will say though, not sure what's happening with the hair at all. I really wish I could tell y'all, but I don't know. It's like I should have made it more like properly flowy, if that makes sense. There's no kind of proper composition. It kind of just looks like things are going places and but not actually going anywhere, you know? So yeah, I could have done that better. And then in the water, I guess like it looks like muddy swamp water. Like what's going on? I don't know. But I was like, how do I really like make this work? Because I think that green color, I was expecting it to be more of a turquoise. Turquoise? Turquoise? So I was like, oh man, how do I make this work? It's more of like a green, but it's fine. Honestly, like, the fun in this challenge is that you can make anything with anything, pretty much. It's literally just you trying to find a way to make a color composition work, and yeah, I don't know, I had a lot more fun than I expected, but this first one's definitely a warm-up, for sure. Definitely a warm-up. I do think it helped to go in with the fine liner and then to touch it up with like the white gel pen at the end, kind of just like trying to maybe add in some details, try to make something work. Whenever I first started to color the background, I tried to like leave spots open for some reason to serve as like stars or highlights, and then I was like, I have a white pen, why am I even bothering with this? Like this, it's just like extra work for me. So yeah, I went ahead and used my G2 Pilot pen in white to sort of try to create some kind of dimension to it, but yeah. Overall, it's definitely not as good as I'd like it to be, but it does have this weird, eerie funness to it. Kind of reminds me of like a Purity Ring cover. Yeah, I do feel like the white pen definitely helped a lot with like some kind of depth. Just once again, really wish I tried to like think out the hair a little bit more, but no worries. We are getting on to the second one, which is, dare I say, my favorite. It's like, I feel like, I don't know if you guys can tell this, but the type of aesthetics that I like are so basic, I guess. Not necessarily basic, but it's like, who doesn't like stars and clouds in the sky and things like that? But it's something that, even though I know it's probably used a ton, I can never let it go. Like, it's a part of my foundation. So this was a really fun one to do, and once again, I'm just coming up with these on a whim, which I think is so fun. And because I don't really do illustrations a lot. It's something that I've been meaning to do for the longest time, but I just don't really have the time and stuff like that. But this exercise really made me aware of how fun it is to just come up with things on a whim and just kind of follow what you feel. So I do this little character, and there's like a bunch of little stars surrounding them, and clouds. I felt like it just, I don't know, it just kind of came together whenever I saw the colors. That's why I don't know if like someone would consider it to be cheating if I draw it after I pick the colors, because, you know, I'm assuming it's a lot harder to like draw the whole like composition and then suddenly you have like this random set of colors that you have to try to like apply to it, because some things might not make sense in the way that you had envisioned. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, but yeah. So regardless, I had a fun time just kind of putting this together, and very like fun, colorful, whimsical vibe to it. There's several artists that I follow that kind of have a lot of art like this, and I just absolutely adore it. I think it's a really fun theme. and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know, I didn't expect to like this highlighter yellow, but it's really grown on me. I think like it's weird because the colors that you think wouldn't pair together so nicely in this challenge. It's like it's the colors that you like when they're all together. It feels like it can be a little bit more difficult whenever you actually put it in practice, if that makes sense, you know? Also, hey, look at me doing a side profile unprovoked. Oh my gosh, the growth. If you guys don't know, I am not a fan of side profiles. I always do them horribly, and I just can't get it down. Also, the kanji that I put on this character's little jacket just means star. Yeah, I'm practicing Japanese. I have been for most of this year, but kanji has always been something really difficult for me, but I finally started to like understand it a bit more, and now it's kind of fun. So yeah, thanks WaniKani. Definitely not sponsored, but it's a really fun app. And I did have to look it up though just to make sure, because I was like, okay, I know I learned this one recently, but it's just so difficult. The stroke order, man. I have no idea. But so now I'm going in with this fine liner, and I feel like that like navy blue really, oh, it's not really navy blue, but just a dark blue. I feel like it really completed the look that I wanted. I don't know if that's cheating though. Once again, I don't know. Is it cheating to introduce another color if it's like not a marker? I don't know. But it's you can make a challenge however you want to be. So I'm gonna do what I want. And yeah, I feel like I would love to redo this piece either traditionally with like maybe gouache. I don't know, I haven't really used gouache, but like acrylic markers or something, or do it digitally, but still kind of keep like this fun flatness to it almost. Like I don't know, it just feels very illustration-esque, very illustrative and fun. Yeah, I love the energy in this piece, and I was not expecting that with these set of colors, but I don't know, my brain just kind of was in the zone. And yeah, I had like a really fun time, because I did all of these in one sitting pretty much. I took a break in between them a little bit, but each one took about like an hour or so I don't really draw the fastest. But nevertheless, it was definitely a really fun time putting these mini illustrations together. So if you haven't tried this challenge yet, I would highly recommend it. Also, sorry if you're not a fan of like the sped up super quick sketching footage and all that, but because I ended up doing this 3 times, I was like, oh, you know, I like looked through like 3 hours worth of footage, and I was like, you know, maybe we trim this down. I don't want all of my videos to be like super long, you know? So plus I feel like my sketching isn't that interesting. It might be better to just see like the marker part, since that's kind of what we're highlighting this time around. So yeah, this last one, I am using both like these 2 blue colors and like an orange, which is, once again, it's really odd that I managed to pick such a like they're complementary colors, so it's kind of like oh waha, what do you know? Because I was really expecting to get like the most unbelievable colors for some reason. I don't know what I was expecting, but I definitely want to like try this again too. So yeah. And this drawing, because it's blue, it's very easy to go towards like something water related. And oddly enough, whenever I started putting this together more and more, it reminded me a lot of like fan art for Hosok, like J-Hope, well, like the Hope World album, but specifically like Blue Side, which is a song I love. It's probably one of my favorite songs of his. And I've wanted to do fan art for like the BTS members' solo projects for the longest time, but I never get around to it, or I get too shy. I don't know if I can do it well enough, and I just kind of weenie away from it. But I felt like it looks pretty similar, so I don't know. It's crazy that I subconsciously ended up going with that, but yeah, like the blue and like the goldfish from like the Daydream music video. I don't know. I just kind of had like a wow moment. So mayhaps I could redraw this and turn it into that so I can have some kind of fan art for once. Oh gosh, no, but like I said, this challenge really makes you like sort of think in a way. Like you have to think about like what is the most probable decision. You can see I actually tried to use the what's it called, the colorless blender, to try to just like make the fish somewhat kind of like a blue hue, but then I was like, you know, that doesn't really include much orange in this piece though. So I felt kind of like, no, we need to push this a little more. So I ended up making all the fishes that bright sun orange, and I felt like that just really, yeah, it just really completed the look. By the way, I have absolutely no idea how to draw fish, so if you're wondering, like, Rhea, what are these? What is that? I don't know, okay? It's been a hot minute since I've even used a reference, since I've probably even looked at a fish, you know? So I was kind of just like, yeah, you know, this is somewhat fish-like, right? It's fine. It's fine. No, but yeah, I mean, to me, they seem a little bit fish-like, so it's not as bad as I was expecting, considering the fact that once again, I have no idea. I was just kind of winging it. I was winging everything. But like I said, it's really good to do that. As someone who probably gets caught up a lot in using references and stuff, because I didn't do that when I first started drawing, and now that I see the wonders of it, I tend to lean towards doing it a lot, but it's important to remember it's just as good to just kind of draw things from your own brain more and not always worry about how accurate things look. I feel like it can also be more fun that way too, so I don't know. Well, that's pretty much all I got for this week's video. Let me know if you guys have tried this challenge before. Like I said, highly recommend it. It's really fun. I would love to do it again in the future, and just trying more illustrations out in general. I feel like it'd be really fun. So yeah, that's all I got this time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, please feel free to leave a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. While I do try to post often, aka weekly, I'm kind of going through it right now, so I will do my best, but until then, thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and week. I'll see you next time. Take care.